Hey, this is What You're Waiting For, a woman's perspective on camping and survival. And today we're going to continue our bug out evacuation plan. And this is level 3. And if you haven't seen level 1 or level 2, I suggest you see them in order so everything makes sense. But at the end of level 2, we loaded up the cars with the essential goods that we have, our stuff. And we met out in the by the front door, and we have our bug out bags and our sleeping gear there in the hallway. So if we do not have any more time, we simply grab our bug out bags and our sleeping gear, walk to the car, and leave. If we do have extra time, then we go to level 3. And our bug out level 3 is basically when everything else is finished and we have time to go over everything else that we were so swiftly trying to get everything. Now it's time to slow down and figure things out. The first thing in the level 3 is everyone should think about what they did, make sure that they got everything, make sure they didn't leave anything behind. If you bring a fishing pole and you don't bring any gear, it might not work all that well. If you bring a propane stove without the propane, you're going to be in trouble. So level 3 is a time to think about and go over everything, make sure everything is loaded, go over a checklist. Another thing we do is notify your family. You can notify all your family by emails, text, or phone calls. Phones might be very busy and you might not be able to get through, so sometimes a text can go through where a phone call won't. You could also email, and you could have it pre-done, like prepared ahead of time in your computer and saved, but just not sent, or in your telephone. You could have the text already prepared, but just not sent. It could be something very simple like emergency, we're all fine, head to bug out, notify you later, something like that. The next thing is the kids are going to probably be bugging you because they're going to be done with their jobs and they're going to be thinking, what else can I do? And they should already have, if they have a special stuffed animal or something, put it in their bug out bag. But they should know that they shouldn't be bringing any other items. If they have a game, put it in their bug out bag if there's enough room. Don't let them go to the room, because they will go to the room with a trash bag and try to load up every single thing that means something to them. And you just can't afford the room, and you just can't afford the time, and you can't do that. So a good thing for them to do is load everything up, start filling everything up with water. Tell them to fill the bathtub, Tupperware containers, milk jugs, metal, pots and pans, whatever. Because if you have to return and there is no water, you're going to be very glad that you have that water that you saved. And just make sure your husband doesn't turn off the water before you do this. Another thing you can think about getting is a cooler. Have it already cleaned, ready to go, maybe waiting near the kitchen area, so that you can put items in there that y'all can snack on for the trip as you're traveling. Maybe stuff for sandwiches, leftovers that don't really need to be heated very much, that little bit of juice or milk that's in your refrigerator. And think about things like extra ice. You can make extra ice, put them in freezer bags, keep them in the freezer. We made some ice bags with our food saver. It's on a video. You can also fill up like jugs with water, leave a little bit of headspace for the air to expand, and you can freeze them. And they're really great for keeping items cold. So if you don't have, you don't want to run to the store to get a bag of ice, because first of all, they're not going to have any, and it's just wasting time. So have that stuff pre-done. Also, if there's extra room, Remember, food, water, food, water, 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 food, water, water. All the important stuff. um, you're never going to regret putting extra food or extra water in there. You will regret if you don't have enough. And the next thing and the final thing to think about is security, extra security for your house. Make sure everything is locked up, all the windows are locked up. If you have uh, the old-fashioned small window units, stairs, we don't really have to worry too much about it because I don't think anybody's going to climb up that much. But usually when you have a window unit, you don't have your window secure. And a lot of times they can pop that little bitty lock, if you even have a lock, pop that little bitty lock and pull the air conditioner out and gain access to your house. So you might think about, if you have to leave and bug out, to open your windows, pull those air conditioners in and close them and lock them where it is really locked well, where it's a little more secure. Another thing you might think about is having extra wood around the house for boarding up windows, for if you have a door with a window inside, you might think of having to be able to board that up, because breaking through one of those windows and reaching around and opening the thing is going to be very easy. You might make signs that you could easily put in the window, like you're being watched, or looters will be shot, or something. They don't have to know for sure that you're not there. And another thing you might think about, I don't know if it'll be much help, but we have a couple of those small alarms where they're just battery operated, and when they're separated, like you can put it on a door or window, when the two separate, it makes a large, very loud alarm. The problem with that is it'll probably scare them off to begin with, but if it continues and nobody turns it off, they're probably going to get the idea that you're not there. So, I mean, that is sort of iffy. You might also think of things like maybe some chains or something. If you need to chain down something like outside, like if you have a lawnmower or something that you're really worried about. I don't think anybody's going to be mowing their lawn when shoot hits the fan. But if you have a grill or something, you might want to think about locking that up. But just make sure everything is locked up, and just a little bit more secure. So that's the end of level 3. When we get to that point, we know we're leaving. So grab your bug out bag and your sleeping bag. Everybody keeps a hold of them, so that if we go in the car and if somewhere like halfway down we have to ditch everything, say our car breaks down, we know that we have our bug out bag and our sleeping bag with us, that we can carry it. We could also put a few of the bug out buckets that we made closer to the end of the gate so we can just grab it and go. But in all of our bug out bags, we do have a little bit of food, basically 2 or 3 days worth. We have the basics we need, for 2 or 3 days. So the minimum we will get is our bug out bags. But if we can carry a bug out bucket with more food, that's wonderful. And if you can take another thing of water, that's wonderful too. But just keep your mind going around level 1, level 2, level 3. Once you get to level 3, you're out of there. If you only get to level 1, at least you have the minimum, the bug out bag and your sleeping gear that you could get by. Level 2, you have a little bit more to last you a little bit more than 3 days. Level 3, you're taking care of the necessities at the house, and your family, notifying your family what's going on. So that's pretty much it. That's our plan. Hopefully everything goes on okay without a hitch, but you never know. And just think about it for your family. Maybe not. Maybe you have smaller kids that can't do these things, but if you put out and just have a smaller kid say, okay, you're in charge of bringing this bug out bag with you and put it in the hallway. Well, that's one thing that you do not have to do. And even a 3 or 4 year old could know, I need to go get my sleeping bag. So Go over it with your family. Think of your own plan. There's probably tons of things I forgot, but that's what we have so far. So what you waiting for? Bye.